Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And I got a big one for you straight out of Prescott, Arizona. And in my channel and through some of my research, there have been quite a few judges that have gotten in some hot water, whether they are state district judges, state court judges, state Supreme Court judges, federal court judges, attorney generals. There have been quite a few lawyers and judges that have gotten in hot water here recently, whether it's in Oklahoma, Atlanta, Georgia, Baltimore, Maryland, New York City. Some of these judges have gone awry. And this particular story, you are going to gasp and be completely surprised at what happened with this female Superior Court judge out of Arizona and what she did in public at 1 a.m. in the morning. This is somewhat embarrassing, not only to the court that she represents or the state of Arizona, but also to her family. And she did this while hanging out with her husband, who ended up getting arrested. So let's get into this story. This is a crazy one. Prescott, Arizona judge resigns after video allegedly shows her urinating and vomiting in public. Some of this content is a little bit graphic, but here we go. An Arizona judge resigns just 2 days after she reportedly was caught urinating in public with an ordeal captured on police body camera video. Citing the Prescott Police Department, Arizona family said an officer found Judge Christine Chef Olson with her pants down as she relieved herself and vomited. The officer catches her doing it, and he says to her, "What are you doing?" the officer asks in the footage. The officer also said, "This is disgusting," he added. And this was caught on his body-worn camera footage, which shows that Judge Christine Chef Olson of the Yavapai County Superior Court, Yavapai, allegedly urinating in public near the courthouse plaza around 1:30 a.m. on October 4th. The media outlet said the awkward encounter occurred on October 4th around 1 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. after witnesses alerted authorities about the woman. In the video, Judge Chef Olson tells the officer she is waiting for an Uber. She appears to be slurring her words while telling the officer her name. And so this is how it goes. He goes, "Okay, this is unacceptable," the officer says. "Where is your ID?" The officer walked towards her, and she says, with the officer asking her to spell her name. Her husband eventually approaches, with the officer informing him he saw her urinating as well as exposing herself and puking. Her husband said, "Nope, that wasn't her," he answers. The husband then refuses the officer's repeated orders to step away from Judge Chef Olson and wait by a nearby cab. That's when there was a brief struggle as other responding officers had to handcuff her husband. He's the park and recreation director in that area. So she's the Superior Court judge in Yavapai County. He's the park and recreations director. So both of them have high positions in the community. The husband goes on to say, "Fine, put me in handcuffs, just let me breathe." I guess that's supposed to be in association to what happened to the gentleman in Minnesota. He says before police escort him to the patrol car just to let him breathe. And we know that that is analogous to what happened to the gentleman a few years ago that died during a police restraint in Minnesota. And of course, that person was George Floyd. And the husband was charged with resisting arrest and a few other charges. A few days after the reported incident, Judge Chef Olson submitted her resignation and stepped down from her role as judge pro tempore of the Yavapai County Superior Court. She's a judge for the Superior Court. She said, "My resignation comes after careful consideration of my current physical, medical, and family circumstances. The Yavapai community deserves and has judges who are steadfast in their commitment to serving Yavapai County. Considering current events in my life, I believe it would be difficult to honor this commitment. I have therefore decided to resign. It has been a pleasure serving the Yavapai community." Presiding Judge Napper also issued a statement saying, "I respect and appreciate Judge Chef Olson's decision to resign," he said. "On behalf of the Yavapai County Superior Court, I appreciate the time that she has served our community and her willingness to remain in her position while the court selects a new pro tempore." Judge Chef Olson was appointed to Division Pro Tem A in October 2023. This young lady had been a lawyer for over 10 years. She had her own legal practice, private practice at one time until she became this Superior Court judge. And unfortunately, she had one too many on this particular night in October with her husband, who should have been making sure that his wife was okay. There's a dual responsibility here. Of course, she has a fiduciary duty upon herself, probably as a grown woman, possibly as a mother, and definitely as a judge in Arizona, to make sure that she is handling herself in the right, appropriate, and professional way. You can go have fun, but you don't go have fun at the expense of looking like some kind of young college student that's going out for the first time drinking and cannot handle yourself. If you're drinking to the point where you are urinating and puking in public down the street from the courthouse where you work, there's a problem. There's also a problem with your husband not being there to monitor and to witness what state, mind state, physical state that you're in while you all are out having a good time. And he should have been in the middle, the foray, to prevent her from having been ascertained by the police and what she displayed in public with her pants down, urinating, puking, all in public. It's an embarrassment to her, her family, to her husband, and of course to the judicial court. She got a ticket. And of course, the husband got arrested for resisting arrest. And the presumption and assumption would probably be is that he was probably drunk also. So for the Parks and Recreation Director and a Superior Court judge to both be out on a October night at 1:30 in the morning and decide to have one too many drinks on October 4th and got caught up in this melee is somewhat embarrassing to our entire judicial system. If she is having some emotional or mental stress that is harbinging her life that led her to doing this excessive drinking, there has to be something that is going on. And here again, I hold her husband 50% responsible for him to be out with his wife and not be aware that she was that drunk and inebriated and out of it. And he also got arrested. So they went out for an evening to have a good time, two professional individuals in that area, and it ended up in embarrassment and arrest and a public debacle by the judge based on what she did on that park bench where witnesses saw it, the police were notified, and the police officers also witnessed this disgusting manner that took place right in front of the police officer's eyes. She must have been really, really drunk. It's one thing to have a good time, but you also have to be safe. And if we're adults, lawyers, if we're adults, professional people, we have to know and maintain a certain level of control, and to also know when to say no and enough is enough. This was an unfortunate circumstance. She resigned from the bench, which she should have done. Would you want to be an individual that ended up in her courtroom when she has these personal issues going on with alcohol and whatever else is going on in her life between her and her husband? I would not want to be a person that would be sitting in front of her courtroom if she is not all there with all her wits about herself. There's something going on to be a full-grown adult. I've been practicing law over 10 years. In private practice, you become a judge, and then you go out and get this plastered, allegedly get this plastered to the point where you don't even know where you are, what you're doing, and a police officer catches you with your pants down. And of course, as I said in this video, what proceeded next was her vomiting and urinating in public. That is a criminal offense. And in certain states, if you got caught publicly urinating, you could get arrested and be sentenced or convicted as a registered sex offender. So there's a lot that can go on with folks that decide that they're going to use the bathroom out in public. If you get caught, that could end up into a serious situation. It's not as soft and as light as one may think. This is an unfortunate circumstance. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. We always have to have our head on a swivel and keep our wits about us, no matter if we are having fun. We are in the middle of the Christmas, Thanksgiving holiday celebration. There's going to be a lot of people moving around, drinking and having a good time. But also know when enough is enough with your alcohol consumption, and also know when it's time to go home. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth.